Good day, everybody. This is Marcel Petit, the Sports Inquirer, and we're joined once again by Georgia Tech volleyball head coach Michelle Collier. Michelle, thank you for joining us. Had your first five-setter of the season on the road at Wake. What was that experience like for the team and coming out with the victory?
Yeah, I think we definitely knew going into that match that was going to be a really tough match. Wake has been playing great. They've been having a great season and just doing some really good things. So not surprising that we had to go, extra long there, but really proud of the team on how we came together. There was a lot of adversity and uncontrolled factors that we had to face, and just really excited for everybody that had to step in and help us, and just a really great win for us on the road.
Yeah, and the team, you had a lead in the fourth set, it dropped it, and then in the start of the fifth set, winning first seven of the first 8 points. What was said in the huddle between that fourth and fifth set to really assert the team and get them to take control of the match?
Yeah, no, I mean, we just, from the beginning, we had been talking that it was going to take all of us. It's going to take everybody doing a little bit more for the person next to them. And, we knew it was going to be a long match, but Bianca got on a great service run there. I think that we started in the right rotations and with people in the right place, and they executed early. They scored points right away, and that gave us a little bit of room to, the match finished pretty close. So that beginning was really, really important to us, because when we got to the rotations, that we were struggling a little bit, we had a little bit of a cushion there to work some things out and get ourselves a win.
Yeah, and you led in aces 11-3. How big was that for the team to control the service line and take control and keep those rotations probably in the positions that you wanted with those aces?
Yeah, no, very important. I mean, I think that we knew they were a hard team to stop. Their setter was doing a good job distributing the ball. So serving was one of our priorities, making sure that we eliminate some options and we put ourselves in better defensive situations. So really proud of how we came out aggressive in that match, serving the ball.
Yeah, and we saw Eloise Suarez, who was just named ACC Freshman of the Week, take the primary lead as the setter. What about her performance? And we've seen her in the rotations throughout the season, but this was the first time we really saw her in the majority of the match and taking control. How do you think she did just overall for the team?
No, I think she did great. I mean, she's definitely put in a situation, to having replaced a starting setter, and just have to really run and in a really tough match, a match that we lost Liv to an injury, and there were just a couple things that weren't really flowing the way that we wanted to flow. And so it really came in and kind of gave us a little bit of a stability there. Did a great job distributing the ball, finding the right people at the right time, and and everybody else helping her just kind of through that situation, to come in and take some pressure off of her and make some plays for her, to just kind of work out together out of this situation. So really proud of how she came in. I mean, she's been coming in and doing great for us, and so she continues to get better. It's exciting. She's young, but she's getting some great opportunities and she's making the most out of it. So really happy for her.
Yeah, and how important was the preseason and the non-conference schedule? Because we saw you play your entire bench pretty much for a majority of it. When you have the injuries, mentioned the Liv and Bella, and when these players aren't able to perform for whatever reason, how big was that to have these players have seen the court throughout the season? But how important was that? Does that just show your process working of getting these players in throughout the season when they do have to step up in conference play?
For sure. I mean, our goal is to train everybody in our gym to put them in a position to help us with matches, and I think that our players are putting in the work. They're coming in ready to get better regardless of what their role is. So it speaks a lot for the group and the people that we have, and how they're committed to each other. Yeah, we had some opportunities early in the year to get them in situations and give them a little bit of a experience, but they also do a lot of things in our gym and in practice, that we trust that they're going to be able to execute when they go in matches. So we always kind of have an idea of how we're going to start matches. We don't really know what it's going to take to win a match, and to what we'll need to do and who will need to step in and help. But I felt like this match was a really a big team win for us. People came in at different points to do some different things in a match, and they really came in and executed and help each other out of situations. And we found a way to come up with a win against a really good team, in a very tough environment out there. So there was a lot of things going against us, and we pulled together. So I was just really proud of the way that we did that as a team.
Yeah, and you had three players with five or more blocks in the contest, led by Anna, sophomore middle, with the career high 8 blocks. How big was that as well, getting so many contributions from your middles and just controlling that part of the game as well?
Yeah, no, we knew defensively, we had to put some pressure on them, and really proud of Vanna and Dee, and our pits too. Like Bianca blocked well, Larissa did a good job blocking. Like, it was a good blocking performance for us, and it was nice to see people come in and take ownership of that role, and really help us when they were maybe offensively they weren't at the level that they wanted to be, but they really focused on what they could do at that time to help the team and really make plays on defense and help us out of situations. So just really proud of that, and our goal is to just get back in the gym and keep getting better.
Yeah, and last thing before we get to Pitt coming up, Bianca, how is that for you? A career high 22 kills. You mentioned all the changes, injuries, performance, having to put players in and out, but she's been rock steady for you the entire year with those, and she had 22. That's a career high kills and blocks as well. How valuable is that to have someone, at least on the outside, that you have that person that can really contribute for you?
Yeah, no, I mean, and that's she's been a rock for us, obviously, and she always has. It's kind of the silent killer. I mean, she's the anchor behind the team. She does so much, like, in every phase of the game. And when she puts up offensive numbers like that, people start to be like, oh wow, but she's been doing all the other stuff really, really well and very solid since she's been a freshman. So it's nice. It's great to see the growth of her role, and what she's doing for our team, and how she is stepping up in matches like this where there was a lot of unknowns, just kind of stepping up and being a leader, and really taking a lot of responsibility on her shoulders, and doing a lot for us that match. So I was really happy for her, and really proud to see the growth of her leadership like that in her role. And that's what you want out of your junior leader. And then she's definitely doing that, and she will continue to grow and get better. But it was a big match where she really stepped up big for us when we needed it. And we knew that she was capable of doing that. So just really proud and happy that she had that kind of performance.
All right, let's get to the Pitt matchup. That's what everyone's been waiting for. I know you've played some ranked teams non-conference, but this is Pitt. They're both teams. You're both undefeated in conference play. Only 3 losses between the two of y'all this season. Right in contention for the conference championship. I know you like to do one match at a time, and even every set or every points. But what's the excitement level just to go up to Pitt, and it's a top 15 matchup, a team that you're very familiar with? What's the anticipation level just for the team overall?
Yeah, no, for us, we're just, again, excited for the opportunity. I think Pitt has a great team, a great coaching staff. We know that they're going to be very prepared to play us and put us in tough situations. And I know that when I get to practice today, our players are going to be excited to start getting ready for it, and really, we're going to have to level up. We're going to have to do a lot of things at a very high level for a very long time, for a lot of points. And so this is going to be probably one of the most challenging matches we'll face under the circumstances that we're at right now. And so just really excited to get to work, to get going. Great opportunity. It's going to be a great playing environment. We know we're going to be super challenged, but yeah, we have also a great opportunity in front of us to compete for a great win here. So we're getting ready for it, but we know it's coming our way, and we're just excited to get going here.
Yeah, and it's a unique matchup. You have the top two scoring teams in the conference, but also the two best defensive teams as far as opponent hitting percentage. Uh, just what does that say about? I mean, is that just a really good statistic to show that you're not only scoring at such a high level, but defensively you're holding teams down? When you face another team kind of like that, uh, how do you approach a team like that, and that you're preparing for just as you get into the contest?
Yeah, I mean, I think that these are the matches we're training for, that we're preparing, that we talk about, hey, every ball counts, every rep counts. Those are the things we're trying to emphasize in our gym is, don't take plays for granted or don't take plays off. This is the kind of match that we are going to have to do that. We're going to have to execute at a high level. We're going to have to execute our game plan at a high level. So there won't be too much rooms for, like my bad. Like we won't have too much rooms for that. We got to execute. We won't have too many chances to score points on them. And when we do, we got to execute at a high level. So I think that that's a match that's really high pressure match when it comes to the way that we have to play, because you almost have to be flawless to keep yourself in the game and to keep yourself in the competition. But that's how we train. We hold them accountable every rep in our gym, and hopefully for days like this when we know that our best is going to be needed and everybody's going to have to level up to compete against a great team, and they play both phases of the game well. So we know that they're going to challenge us in both ways, more than we have been challenged a lot of times. And so it's just going in with the right mindset, but also approaching it in a similar way that we approach every day here when we train, and getting after it, and making sure that we're executing at the level that we can, and putting some pressure on them. And the small details it's going to come down to the small things. So we got to do that a little better.
Yeah, and they're very similar to you, very physical. You're a top two as far as the blocks go. When you face a team that relies so much on the block, and that part of their defense, does that make serving even more critical as far as your placements and kind of countering, and how do you approach a team that does have a big, just a tall roster, a big roster that does like to use the block as their weapon?
Yeah, no, I mean, definitely serving starts there, trying to eliminate options. Obviously, they have great hitters and they have a great setter, so they're going to distribute the ball well. And if we can eliminate options and then put ourselves in position to maybe take away some of the tendencies that they try to, that each player tries to use, and execute at a high level on those, will make it a little more difficult, So I think that is our number one goal. I mean, I think with everybody at this level, of serve and pass becomes a big deal. It's always a big deal, but even in those matches, it becomes even more crucial, because if we can keep ourselves in system and distribute our offense, will be harder to defend, but we also can put some pressure on their end, on their offense, and try to make them a little bit easier to defend, and that will help us. So it is going to come down to serve and pass, and who can do that at a higher level. And we're gonna have to step up those areas of how we've been doing lately, to even do it at an even bigger level on Friday.
Well, Michelle, thank you for your time. We appreciate it. We'll definitely be tuned in for that Pitt matchup and Virginia as well. But yeah, safe travels, and we'll catch up soon in the future.
Thank you.